And what's up, Bama Nation? How we feeling? How we feeling? Yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. In my own words, hottest show on the streets on a Wednesday. Bringing you the information right now. Go ahead, come on in, hit the like button, tap the subscribe button, daily super chat, go $100 right there. Keys to success for Bama against LSU this weekend. The game for the betterment of 17 years. Nick Saban looked at this matchup, Bama, LSU, as the game. This is the game during the Saban era that you had conference championship implications, national championship implications, Heisman Trophy implications, NFL draft implications. So much rode on this game under Nick Saban from 2007 to 2023. But now, Kalen DeBoer, the head man for Alabama in this rivalry, and for him, college football playoff implications. On yesterday, that being Tuesday, ESPN debuted the first installment of the college football playoff rankings for the 12-team dance. Alabama debuted at number 11. Despite all that's happened for you, the Crimson Tide fan, you watched Alabama lose to Vanderbilt. I know it was awful. You watched Alabama lose to Tennessee. I know it was awful. Despite all of that and the roller coaster that it has been for Kalen DeBoer since being hired, Bama ranked at number 11 in the initial college football playoff rankings. What does this mean? Every postseason admiration is right in front of the Crimson Tide. You win, you're in. It's the main thing. You win out, you're in. And where does it start? This weekend against LSU. So keys to success. Number one, Jalen Milroe's got to be on his game against the Tigers. This game's going to come down to both quarterbacks. Milroe of Alabama, Garrett Nussmeier of LSU. Milroe's got to be on his stuff. He's got to be on it. Now, Alabama coming off of a bye week. Milroe was able to rest up. He's able to get healthy. He's able to, if he was going through any type of bump or bruise, any type of nick, he was able over the bye week to get himself rested, get himself back healthy, get himself back at 100%. But this weekend, he's got to be on full go running the football. He's got to be on full go in the passing game. He's got to look like the Milroe we saw earlier in the season against Wisconsin and Georgia. You got to have Milroe on go here. Number one key to success. Number two key to success for Alabama, Nick Sheridan, you got to lean on this offensive line and these running backs. Keep Garrett Nussmeier and the LSU offense on the sideline as much as possible. You got to lean on this offensive line. You got to lean on these backs because you have the backs to do it. You've got Justice Haynes averaging over 6 yards a carry. You've got Jam Miller averaging over 6 yards a carry. You got Richard Young, who against Missouri had a 62-yard run. Big run there. These backs can get it done. If you are Nick Sheridan, it is time to lean on this offensive line. If you're Nick Sheridan, it is time to lean on these running backs. Get these guys the football. Trust these guys. When you go back to offensive alignment at center, Parker Brailsford, what did he say during the bye week? We can run the football on everybody, on anybody and everybody in the sport. Here is the week to do it right here. Why? LSU has struggled against the run. They've allowed 130.8 yards rushing per game this season. They've allowed 14 rushing touchdowns this year. South Carolina ran the football on them. Texas A&M ran the football on them. And a huge upset. LSU is susceptible to be ran on. They've got good pass rushers, yes, but they are susceptible to the run game. If you're Alabama, you're Nick Sheridan, you unleash these backs, you unleash the physicality of the offensive line. That's number 2. Third key to success. Here it is. Utilize. And I will say this one more time. Utilize Kendrick Law this game. He's from Louisiana. You use him in this football game in every single way that you can. You use him as a wide receiver. You use him on the jet sweep. You use him on the end around. You use him in the pop passes. You use him on routes. You use Kendrick Law in every single way that you possibly can. He's from Louisiana. This is a major matchup for him. Not just him, but also you use Caleb Odom, former five-star playmaker. I mean, here's a guy that Jamarcus Shepard, wide receivers coach, talked about today. Super proud of the growth. Super proud of the development of Caleb Odom. Super proud of the way this young man goes about his business, right? And just like LSU, the conversation has been all week. Kyron Lacey of LSU, he's 6'3". He's big, he's tall, he's physical, he's this, he's that. Well, Bama, you got a matchup problem on your end. Caleb Odom is 6'5", 230. Use that big frame. Use that athletic body. Use it. Caleb Odom is 6'5". I mean, in this event, where you don't have Cole Adams out for the year with a lower body injury, utilize Kendrick Law, utilize Caleb Odom. This game right here is where both of these two need to get the football. So that's number 3. Utilize Kendrick Law, utilize Caleb Odom. Fourth key to success for Alabama, the edge rushers. Primarily the wolf position. You've got to get Garrett Nussmeier off his spot. This is the best quarterback in the Southeastern Conference. Nussmeier, 20 touchdown passes, 9 picks. But while he is the best quarterback in the Southeastern Conference, he is still a player that you can knock off his spot. Why? If you're able to get pressure to him, because he will make mistakes throwing the football. He will do so. This is a game for Quay Russo. Quay Russo said this week, I'm not hurt. I'm not injured. I'm not on no pitch count. I'm ready to cut it loose. Quay Russo, I'm ready to cut loose. That's what he said. Here is the moment, Quay. Here it is. The big-time players, especially on Alabama's defense, have made the plays against LSU. Whether it was Reggie Ragland, whether it was Reuben Foster, whether it was Ryan Anderson, whether it was Timmy Williams, whether it was Will Anderson, whether it was Dallas Turner, all of these guys and more, they've made the big plays defensively against LSU. Here you go, Quay Russo. Here's your moment right here. Q Robinson. Here's your moment right here. Jihad Campbell, who talked about it on Tuesday. Man, we starving, bro. We starving on defense, man. We starving to get those takeaways. We starving to turn those takeaways into touchdowns. We hungry out here. Show that hunger, Jihad. Show that hunger. This game, right here. Show that hunger. Defensively, got to get Garrett Nussmeier off his spot. LSU is going to want to throw the football. They're going to want to sling it around. They're not the best run team. They've got some backs, but running the football is not LSU's strong suit. They want to line up, put that ball in Garrett Nussmeier's hands, and go out there and cook up that secondary. That is what they're going to want to do. So for Alabama's defense, the pass rushers, the wolf guys, The edge guys, here is your game. LT Overton, Jamarian Latham, here is your game. Tim Keenan, Tim Smith, pressuring that pocket inside, here is your game. James Smith, Jordan Renard, here is your game. Quay Russell, Q Rob, Jihad Campbell, here is your game. Get into Nussmeier's face and make life a living nightmare for him. This is the game to do that. This is the game to do that. It's number 4 of the pass rushers. Fifth and not least, last but not least, the key to success for Alabama. No, by any means necessary, no bonehead. Can't have them. Cannot have them. You cannot have them in Death Valley. You cannot have them in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You cannot have them at Tiger Stadium. No bonehead self-inflicting penalties. You can't have it this week. Not in that environment. You can't have it this week. Not in that atmosphere. You cannot have it. Fundamentally sound. Bama's got to play a clean, fundamentally sound football game. You can't have the penalties. You can't have the false starts. You can't have the offsides. You can't have a delay of games. You can't have the block in the back. You can't have it this week. You can't have the ineligible receiver downfield. You can't have the illegal shift or the illegal formation. You can't have it this week. Can't have it this week. Absolutely not. Especially not in that environment. So those are my keys. Number 1, Jalen Milroe's got to be on it. He's got to be on his A game from start to finish. Number 2, Nick Sheridan. You got to trust these running backs. You got to trust this offensive line. You got to wear LSU's defensive front down, period. Number 3, you've got to utilize, by all that lies within you, Kendrick Law and Caleb Odom. You got to do it. Number 4, this Alabama pass rush, primarily at the Wolf position. You've got to knock Garrett Nussmeier off his spot and make him feel your presence all game long. If it's too much to ask, you got to do, Bama, what you did to Zach Mettenberger back in 2013. Y'all remember when Alabama's defense had Zach Mettenberger crawl off the field. Bama hit that man, took that man up so much like a rag doll that Zach Mettenberger on his hands and knees crawled off the field. Of course, I think Mettenberger is on Alabama staff as an offensive analyst, but you got to have the quarterback version of Mettenberger at LSU crawl off the field. You got to make Garrett Nussmeier crawl off the field. Got to, as the Alabama pass rush. And then last but not least here, no penalties, no bonehead penalties, no unnecessary self-inflicted mistakes. You can't have them. Alabama's able to do all of these things I've just mentioned. They should be able to walk right into Tiger Stadium, stick a dagger in Mike the Tiger, stick a dagger in the LSU fan base, and come out saying, hey, College Football Playoff Committee, keep talking about us. We're in this dance. We're in this field. You got to do those things that I mentioned. But we're going to go to your comments here for tonight's show. I know what y'all thinking. Steven shows violence, man. Talk about sticking daggers and stuff. Look, man, Nick Saban, for the betterment of 17 years, took this LSU game personally, right? So, Kalen DeBoer, your first year in this game, your first year in this rivalry, you got to take it personally. It's either Bama, my team is in this college football playoff, or LSU. And I'd be dog if LSU jumps into this playoff and I'm not in here. That's how personal Kalen DeBoer has got to take Saturday's game. But We start this off with my guy, Warrior is in here. Let's get it. Roll Tide. Time to take it to him. Absolutely. Time to take it to the Tigers in Baton Rouge this weekend. The game, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Roll Tide and rise up. Give us that Roll Tide fam. We appreciate Roll Tide. Rise up, helping us out. We got Mike Neans writing in. Roll Tide. Kick some butt. Let's go here, Alabama. Taking on LSU this weekend. We got PJ Styles in the building. Roll Tide, my boy, Stephen M. Appreciate you, PJ, being a part of the show. We got Tolbert saying OG in here. Stephen, Bama Nation, Roll Tide. Roll Tide to you. Roll Tide and rise up right back in. I saw a post on social media that said that Milroe's girlfriend is pregnant with twins. Don't know if it's true, but that may have been where his mind was at these past few games. I saw that post too, Roll Tide and rise up. I don't think that's legit. I don't know if a fake news site may have put that out there. You know, fake news sites do that type of thing. I don't think that's legit. If it is, then yes, you are correct, Roll Tide and rise up. We could see where Milroe's mind has been, but I don't think that's true. I don't think that is accurate right there. Roll Tide Mimi writes in, Bama has the talent to win this game. Hopefully Jalen will have a great game and we get to see some Crimson fireworks. Roll Tide. Hopefully Milroe is on his game. Offensive line's on its game. Defense is on its game. Everybody's on their game. And you walk out of Tiger Stadium saying to Mike the Tiger, hey, you lost. Bama won. Bama Nation is in this college football playoff full-fledged, debuting at number 11 on Tuesday in the playoff ranking. Doing Miller writes in, I believe we got the players to be successful. They have to believe in themselves and go out there and be dominant and get this win. That's the main thing. Go out there, dominate your box, dominate your job, dominate your assignment, get this win. This is big right here. This is the game. Alabama has played Georgia. They played Tennessee. They played Auburn. They played all of these teams in the SEC, and that's great. But this against LSU has always been the game, the matchup, the moment. It's always been LSU. It's always been LSU, right? It's always been. There's always been so much riding on this game, whether it's conference championship, whether it's national championship, whether it's Heisman, whether it's NFL draft implications. There's always been so much riding on this matchup. Warrior writes in, that's right. That's right. The mentality here of this football game, Bama and LSU. Plow Jogger, get us a Roll Tide. Appreciate you, Plow. Godfather of the SEC. My man Waylon saying hello to the Roll Tide and rise up. We got Reginald Bird writes in, lock in on both sides of the ball. We got to lock in for QB. We got to lock in for QB1. Coaching staff, OC and DC. Accountable week part 2. Roll Tide. This is a big week for Alabama. Big week. You show the committee, hey, we deserve the shot. We deserve to be in here. We deserve to be in the playoff. This is Bama's game to show that committee. Here it is right here. Plow Jogger writes in, Roll Tide, roll to Roll Tide, roll, all you beautiful Americans. The election was yesterday. Hopefully everybody voiced their opinion, voted. Election results came out. President Trump is back in the seat. He'll take the seat open January of next year. But proud that everybody was able to go out there, vote, and let that opinion be, let your thought be made known there. Gary T18 writes in, Roll Tide, my fellow Bama fans, Roll Tide to you, Gary T. Doey Miller, you are right. I think if we put pressure on the quarterback, he will make mistakes. They need to put pressure the whole game, and that's on Garrett Nussmeier. You affect him with pressure. You get him off his spot. He will make mistakes. You can look at this game. LSU wants to throw the football. They're not big on the run game. They want to line up, put this ball in Garrett Nussmeier's hands and say, Garrett, we trust you. Hit Kyron Lacey. Hit Aaron Anderson. Hit Mason Taylor. Hit our receiving options. If you're Bama's defense, led by Kane Womack, you've got to be in Nussmeier's face all game long here. Deborah Franklin writes in, Roll Tide Wednesday. Roll Tide to you, Deborah. Happy to have you here on the show. We got Doing Miller giving us that Roll Tide again. Roll Tide to you. My man Waylon, no penalties. It's the main thing. Can't have them. Can't have the penalties. Can't have the self-inflicted mistakes here this week. Let's see here. Plow Jogger writes in, I have an LSU buddy who is scared they can't run against Bama. I pray that's true. LSU, they have backs, Plow, but they don't trust their run game. They don't. They want to put the ball in Garrett Nussmeier's hands and have Garrett win this game through the air, which he is a good passer. The best in the SEC. But what do you do if you're Alabama? You come after him with pressure. The main thing is if you're Bama, this is not a Jaden Daniels. This is not a mobile quarterback. This is not a dual threat guy. He's a sitting duck pocket passer, which means your interior guys, Tim Keenan, Tim Smith, Jamarian Latham, LT Overton, y'all crash that thing from the inside. Then here comes Q-Rod. Here comes Roos Hall. Here comes John Campbell cleaning it up. This is not a dual threat quarterback. So here we go. Bama interior pass rush. Do your thing. Do your job here. Jarvis S. writes in facts in terms of the pass rush. Absolutely. And also, when I mentioned Zach Mettenberger crawling off the field in 2013, Deborah Franklin writes in, oh, yeah, I was at that game, the 2013 game where Zach Mettenberger crawled off the field. He got hit so much by Bama that game that he could not walk. The brother on his hands and knees had to crawl off the field. Do we see that same effect from the Alabama defense getting after Garrett Nussmeier this weekend? Jarvis S. writes in, that man was crawling off the field. That was Zach Mettenberger. Gary T18 writes in, make Nuss feel them footsteps all game long, like my man Stephen M. Smith said. You got to make Nussmeier feel your presence. You got to. Q-Rob, Quay Rousseau, Jihad Campbell, defensive lineman up front, you got to make this guy feel your presence. You can't sit there and have him play pitch and catch with receivers all day like he's in a 7-on-7 high school camp. If you do that, Garrett Nussmeier will tear you apart. You got to knock him off his spot. You got to rough him up a little bit. Got to get him off his game there. Let's see. Deborah Franklin writes back in, I can't wait to see Bama's defense. The defense has played better these last few weeks. They've played better these last few weeks. So we got to see, it come up big again here against LSU. James Thompson writes in, Milroe to bench after 3 overthrows. We're going to see how Milroe goes out here. Let's see here. Plow Jogger writes in, Nick Saban Football Museum. Now, Plow, are you saying that Death Valley is the Nick Saban Football Museum? Because Nick Saban was very successful in his career going down to Tiger Stadium. I think Saban only lost twice at Tiger Stadium. Let me see. Saban lost 07 at Tiger Stadium. I believe 07. Saban lost 2010 at Tiger Stadium. Saban lost 2023 at Tiger Stadium. 2022 at Tiger Stadium. I think only 3 years Saban lost at Tiger Stadium. So more times than not, Saban won that matchup at LSU. Darren Watson, give us a roll time. Appreciate you, Darren, being a part of the show. Doing Miller writes in, Alabama, y'all better win. Bama to be in this playoff, they got to win. They got to win. They got to win. Let's see here. Deborah Franklin writes in, the same site that says DeBoer's wife is pregnant. So that goes back to roll tide and rise up. I do not think that site is legit. I was talking about Jalen Milroe's girlfriend pregnant with twins or something. I do not think that site's legit. I do not think that site's legit at all. Jarvis S. writes in, can DeBoer finally get a road win in the SEC is the real question. That's the big thing, Jarvis. Can DeBoer get a road win in the SEC? A loss to Vanderbilt on the road, a loss to Tennessee on the road. Here's a moment against LSU on the road at night, hostile environment. Can you get a massive road win to start the second half of the season with the college football playoff committee looking dead at you? Big task here for DeBoer, getting that win on the road. Deborah Franklin writes in, if Milroe is popping, so will the offense. You're correct, Deborah. So Milroe goes, so does his offense. Milroe's got to be at his apex. Got to be on his A game this week. Let's see. Bama writes in, no celebration early, no cigars, no dancing. Alabama win the game, walk off like men, heads up, fearing your opponent. Again, roll tide. Bama laying it down right there. Appreciate him. Here we go. We got Smitty Joy. He in here. Smitty Joy is in here. What it do, folks? What it do with your Smitty? Well, Smitty J, not Joy. Smitty J is in here. Appreciate Smitty being a part of the show. Dale B writes in, this game is the biggest game. Dale B, it is. Biggest game of the season right here. Because you got all of your postseason aspirations on the line in this game. You got to have it. You got to have it. Jarvis S. Going to take Milroe's arms and legs to beat LSU. It's going to take both. Last year it took both, and Milroe got it done last year. It's going to take both again at Tiger Stadium to continue your push there for the college football playoff. Milroe got to be at his A game. Shouts out to my man Dale Bay, dropping that $10 donation in here, showing love. Gotta dominate. Roll Tide. Bama has to take care of LSU. We got Smitty J. We need to be in a 4-3 the whole game. Now, Smitty, I'm going to have to pass that along to Kane Womack. Got to be in a 4-3 defense the whole game. So, Smitty J, I'll try to pass it along there too. Kane Womack there. Let's see here. Let's see. Mike Coleman writes in, Steven, we got to beat them in the trenches. Pressure their quarterback and sacks. Need to hit them repeatedly. Our DBs need to have a big game, locking them down. Milroe, be Milroe, and no stupid penalties. That's the main thing. You gotta win the trenches. You gotta control the line of scrimmage. You've got to pressure Garrett Nussmeier, get some sacks. Pressure Garrett Nussmeier repeatedly, get some sacks. Defensive backs got to take care of these receivers. Create some takeaways in this game for DBs. Milroe, be the Milroe you were against Georgia. Be the Milroe you were against Wisconsin. Be the Milroe you were last season against LSU. No dumb penalties here in this game. Stan Meadows writes in, Steven, our pass rush must be aware if they touch the quarterback's helmet, it'll be 15 yards. So Stan, good point there. Pass rushers have to be aware, hey, don't let your momentum carry you into the quarterback to where if you touch the quarterback's helmet, it's a 15-yard penalty. So here's the main thing. If you are a defensive pass rusher, be aggressive, but be conscious of what you're hitting and at what time you're hitting the quarterback. Be aggressive, play with leverage, but also be conscious, right? Play aggressive, play with awareness, but also be conscious. Good point there by Stan Meadows right there. Plow Jogger writes in, Jalen, please use the tight ends. Get the ball. Robbie Oots, CJ Dupree, Josh Cuevas, get the ball into the hands of the tight ends. Got to utilize that position. Here we go. Know what I meant, Steven? Tuscaloosa needs a Nick Saban football museum. Plow, they do. And I know you got the Paul Bear Bryant Museum on campus, University of Alabama, and they have a Nick Saban exhibit inside the Bear Bryant Museum. But a Nick Saban football museum would be a nice touch for Tuscaloosa. It would be. The question is, where would you put it, Plow? Where would you put the Nick Saban Football Museum in Tuscaloosa, Plow? Where would you put it? Love the idea, but where would you put it in Tuscaloosa? Let's see. Gary 1018 writes in, we got to turn that place into Death Valley to where you can't even hear. There you go, Gary 18. Gary T18. You got to turn that place into Death Valley to where you cannot hear. Here we go. Plow writes in, Ooch could be lethal in the run game this week. Robbie Ooch talked about it during the bye week. I don't care about stats. I've never cared about stats. Every team needs a dirty work guy. I'll be that guy. I'm that guy. Here is a big week for Robbie Ooch in terms of the NFL draft. Those draft guys, those NFL teams can watch Ooch all night, put on a clinic on how to power guys and blow guys out of the way for these running backs and for Jalen Milroe. Like, a clinic could be put on by Robbie Ooch on how to just maul guys out of the way. Now, yes, if you can get Ooch some catches also, that'd be good. But a clinic by Ooch can be put on this weekend on how to maul guys out the way. Dale B writes in, yep, quit dancing around like fools there. But let's go here. Bama playing LSU of this weekend. Stan Meadows writes back in, Steven, if our pass rushers touch the quarterback's helmet with a pinky, it'll be 15 yards. Stan, like I mentioned, you got to play aggressive, but also be conscious, right? You got to play aggressive, but also be conscious. And I think that's the main thing that Alabama will focus on this week. My guy, Randy from Dogs Cast. Randy writes in, good evening, Steven. Good evening to you, Randy. Happy to have you in here, my guy. Happy to have you in here. Plow Jogger with that $5 donation. Dropping that in here. Plow says we need a Nick Saban football museum in Tuscaloosa. So there's Plow putting the donation in to start the Alabama Football Museum in Tuscaloosa. We got my guy Eddie Rhodes with that $20 donation, dropping the love in. Appreciate Eddie Rhodes. Let's go. Road Tide. Eddie helping us out there. Oscar Wilson, utilize the run game. Let those running backs pound LSU so much that they'll hate to see them coming, that you can open up the passing game. LSU, defensively, has allowed 130.8 yards per game rushing this season. They've given up 14 rushing touchdowns. This defense of the Tigers is susceptible to the run game. If you're Alabama, lean on this offensive line. Lean on these backs. Run the football. Christian Hughes, Roll Tide, Stephen M. Happy to see you here. Christian, Mike Coleman. The league needs to address these referees because there's too many bad calls. No calls. There are too many bad calls, no calls. Calls that are game changers both ways. They need to be professionally trained and paid. Mike, I agree with you. There have been so many badly, poorly officiated games this season across the board in the SEC. There have been so many poorly officiated games. I don't know who the staff is going to be at this LSU game this weekend between LSU and Alabama, but this game needs to be officiated properly. It needs to be called properly. Because across the board this season in the Southeastern Conference, we've seen some of the most poorly officiated games, and it has cost some teams. Gary T18 writes in, Plow, I believe you're on to something. We need Oots quite a bit in the Missouri. We used Oots quite a bit in the Missouri game. Alabama did use Robbie Oots a lot, and that's the reason why you saw the big run from Justice Haynes of 35 yards. It's the reason why you saw Alabama rush for 271 yards and 4 touchdowns, because Robbie Oots was mauling everybody. So here is a game right here. His physicality, his blocking ability, his selflessness, his team player mentality. A big week for Robbie Oots to go out there and open up this run game. Let's see here. Smitty J writes in, I'll be at the Iron Bowl game. Hope every one of you Bamas be there. So Smitty J will be at the Iron Bowl. He wants to see everybody in this matchup. Let's see. Christian Hughes writes in, Bama's running back room has got to eat. Big game here for the Bama running back room led by Justice Haynes and Jim Miller. We got Tobias Speaks Life. Sup, fam? Roll Tide. Tobias in here. Happy to see my man from Fresno dropping the line on the show. Mike Coleman writes in, thanks, Steven. 100% truth. Absolutely. It is. I mean, we've seen some poorly officiated games, and it's not just the Alabama games. It's all across the conference. So these officials have to be better. They got to be better. Now, I don't know how much Steve Shaw, the coordinator of officials in the SEC, how much has Steve Shaw been working with this group? I don't know. I can't speak to it, but the games have to be called better. They've got to be officiated better. It's just my opinion. We got T-Sav writes in, Steven, how are you, brother? T-Sav, I'm good. Fantastic, man. How are you? Happy to see you doing well. We got my man Randy from Dogs Cast, my guy Randy. Question, Steven, do you think Alabama will be able to get after Nussmeier from the edges in the pass rush game? I think that's the key to watch. Randy, that is the key. If the Wolf position, which is your edge rushers, when you talk Q-Rob, when you look at Quay Rousseau, and then also at that bandit spot, the field side defensive end, LT Overton, Jamarian Latham, they get at Nussmeier. It's going to be a long day for Nussmeier. Because once again, he's not a dual threat. He's not a mobile quarterback. This is more of your drop back pocket passer, right? So at the interior guys, we're talking Tim Keenan, Tim Smith, James Smith, Jordan Renaud. They collapse it from the inside, keeping Nussmeier from stepping up and having a clean pocket. And if you're outside guys, Q-Rob, Rousseau, Overton, and Latham get around those edges, it's going to be a long night for Nussmeier. It's going to be a long night. You're right, Randy. That is a key to watch there in this matchup. My man from Skyline Crew, baby, on the roof. Here we go. We in here. Skyline Crew in here breaking down Bama and LSU. Let's see here. My man Randy, I'm going to support my guy Steve every chance I get. T said, hey, Randy's a good dude. Gotta love Randy. Randy is a good guy. Appreciate Randy being a part here of the show. My man Bill from New York, Big Bill is in there with that $6 donation, dropping it in. If Milroe has a good game, we will crush LSU. Roll Tide people. So, Bill, like many of us, this game is on Milroe. He's got to step up and have his football game. The same Milroe that was there against Georgia, that was there against Wisconsin, that was there last year against LSU. That same Milroe, he's got to show up and show out here against the Tigers here. Gary T18, RTR to Smitty J for representing. Smitty J is representing. Smitty J is doing his thing. He's doing his thing. Tolbert St. OG writes in, that's right, Dale B. They got to dominate the guy they're playing against and make him quit. That's our trademark. That's our MO as a team. That's what people know us as. We're Alabama. Let's go. Bama has got to dominate the box, dominate the trenches from start to finish. Christian Hughes showing some love to From the Skyline crew, baby. We're in here. We're rocking and rolling, breaking down Bama LSU. We got here T-Sav writes back to Randy. Love me some Kirby Smart too, bro. No harm here. Kirby's a good coach. Kirby's a good coach. Kirby's got, a matchup this weekend with Ole Miss though at the Grove. he got a deal with Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin in that Grove at Vaught Hemingway in Oxford. He got to deal with that. So Kirby, we'll see how he's able to handle that down there, at the Grove. Akeem Patterson writes in, the game is on the whole team. Akeem, it is. Offense got to do its part. Defense has got to do its part. Special teams got to do its part. This whole team has to pull together to get this win. A win, you're in the playoff. A loss, you out of it. You got to win. All full-on sense of urgency. You got to win. Latoya Billingsley giving us a roll tide, y'all. Roll tide to you, Latoya. Happy to have you in here on the show. And all of you guys have been writing in, chatting in, donating in. Appreciate all of you being a part of the conversation. We got 74 people in the live right now. So do this for me right now. Drop in your thoughts on what the score is going to be. Drop in your thoughts of what the score is going to be that you have for Bama LSU. Drop those in. Big Bill writes in, Steven, who do you think is a better team, Ole Miss or LSU? Good question there, Bill. I go LSU because I think LSU is a bit more complete. LSU is a bit more complete than Ole Miss is. So I would go LSU. LSU a bit more complete there. Let's see here. We got Gary T18. Who's going to handle punt returns that Cole is out? Anybody heard? Gary, that is Jalen Mbakwe. Mbakwe, the freshman, will handle punt returns with Cole out. You got Mbakwe. You also have Ryan Williams. Both freshmen will handle punt returns with Cole out. So Ryan Williams and Jalen Mbakwe. There you go. You got D. Baker, 23-83 with a roll tide. He's got Bama winning this game 31-21. So he's got Bama by 10, 31-21. Jarvis S. has got Bama 24-20 over LSU. A close one from Jarvis S. He's got Bama 24-20. We got Bama CFA 31-30, 102. He's got Bama 28, LSU 24, another close one, but 28-24. We got Mythical Pickett writes in, Mythical Pickett with the roll tide. Appreciate that. We got a question from my guy Randy. In terms of pressure, who do you think is feeling it more, Alabama or LSU? I think it's Bama. Bama feels it more just due to Bama's back is against the wall, and it's got to win this game. Kalen DeBoer needing to show I can win on the road. I can win in a hostile environment. So, yes, the pressure there a bit more on Bama in that aspect. So, pressure on Bama a bit more there, Randy, from that aspect. You look at my man Big Bill from New York. Bama 34, LSU 23. So that's Bill right there. Deborah Franklin, she's got the tie. Will pull away in the fourth quarter, 27-20. Deborah's got Bama there. Y'all Warriors got Bama 42, LSU 21. So y'all Warrior got Bama big here, 42-21. And we got my guy Randy, Dogs Podcast. He's got 27-21 Bama. Another close one, but Randy's got Bama pulling it out 27-21. From Rising Steven, I need parking space for my space shuttle. What city we in? We in Vegas, man. Hey, we in Vegas, so park right here from. We're in Vegas. We're in Vegas right here for the parking, so go ahead and park it right there. We're in Vegas. Mike Coleman writes in, Bama 31, LSU 24. They have a tight one, but Mike Coleman's got Bama 31-24. Mythical Pickett writes in, Bama 27, LSU 17. So 27-17, Bama by 10 here. Some good picks here rolling in. Some good picks here. Let's see here. Dwayne Miller, all or nothing, Alabama. Make me believe y'all again. Y'all hurt my heart earlier this year, but I know we can do it and get this win. So Dwayne Miller was hurt with Alabama losing to Vanderbilt. He was hurt with Alabama losing to Tennessee, but he wants the Tide to make him believe again in this matchup against LSU. Sheila K writes in, I think the key will be Bama needs to get a fast start and keep the foot on the gas. Sheila, 100%. Bama, fast start offensively, keep the foot on the gas. Fast start offensively for Alabama. So, Sheila, you are correct there. Oscar Wilson has Bama 24, LSU 14. Appreciate Oscar right there. We got Bama CFA writing back in. Why haven't we seen Ty come in when Jalen is off? We saw Ty come in, not a part of the game against LSU, LSU, but against Missouri. I'll say this. If Milroe comes out and it's really, 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 really rough, you could see Ty get in this game. I don't think Milroe will come out really, really rough. I think him being well rested, him being healthy, I think Milroe will come out prepared to play and play well. But in the event that Milroe comes out and it's really, 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 really rough, you could see Ty in here. But we will see. We will see. Mythical Pickett writes in, how do I donate? This is a great show. I'm loving it. So Mythical Pickett, how do you donate there? On the YouTube chat line, right? At the bottom of the YouTube chat line, there's a donation sign. There's a $sign donation sign at the bottom right-hand corner of the YouTube chat line. You click on that donation sign, you can donate right there at Mythical Pickett. You can donate right there. Appreciate that. Vernon Davis writes in, Alabama 31, LSU 14, roll Tide roll. Appreciate that, Vernon. Once again, Mythical at the bottom of the YouTube chat line. At the bottom there, the YouTube chat, the bottom right, there's a $sign. You click on that $sign, you can donate right there. Appreciate you. Want to be a part of that donation. Sheila K. Georgia first half, the whole game, agree 100%. So if Alabama takes the first half, takes the first quarter of that Georgia game, especially offensively, if Alabama takes the first quarter of that Georgia game and applies it throughout the entire LSU game, Bama will be fine. Bama takes the first quarter of that Georgia game and applies it throughout the entire LSU game, Alabama will be fine. From writes in, only 2 seats in my space shuttle. That's what's up, fam. Hey, From's got 2 seats in the shuttle, baby. He's parking that thing right here in this Vegas skyline behind me. So From, you doing what you gotta do, bruh. You are doing what you gotta do. I ain't mad at you. You guys continue to send in your score thoughts on this matchup between Alabama and LSU, slated for Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. ESPN's College Football Game Day will be there. Who does Saban choose in this game? Who does Saban choose, and by how much? We already got Brian Kelly talking about we'll give Saban a little access, but we're not letting him in the locker room. He still has, he's still a part of the Alabama football program. We know Brian Kelly got jokes there, but who does Saban pick in this game, and by how much? That'll be interesting. From writes in, this Bama team has got to find its identity. This is the game from where you just got to be ready to go, right? This is the game from where you can't be finding yourself. This is a game from you got to be ready to go kick somebody's teeth in. This is the game right here. This is the game right here where you gotta know what you are right here, right? Because everybody in that college football playoff committee is looking dead at you right now. You're ranked number 11. You win, you continue your push, your journey. So you got to be kicking folks in the teeth, right here. Mythical Pickett with that $20 donation. Pickett found it and donated it. Mythical Pickett, my first time donating ever. Great show, Roll Tide. Hey, appreciate you choosing to donate right here. Happy about that. Jarvis S. writes in, playtime is over. Period. It is. No playtime here. You got to be on go mode. You got to be on go mode Saturday. Like, you got to be stepping off that plane, stepping off that bus, choosing violence. You got to be stepping off that plane, stepping off that bus, thinking, I'm silencing everybody inside of the stadium. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Eddie Rhodes writes in, I just hope the weather is not too bad. That's what everybody's concern is, Eddie, is the weather. Right now, I've heard no conversation about, the game being changed or the game being altered. So right now, they're looking to kick this thing off inside Tiger Stadium at the time that is presented, which is 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So going to be very, very interesting. Hopefully and prayerfully, the weather not too bad there. Mythical, here we go. Mike Coleman writes in, ruthless aggression, start to finish. Ruthless aggression from this Alabama team, from start to finish. That hunger Jihad Campbell was talking about in player interviews, I want to see that hunger from start to finish. I want to see that starvation turn into getting takeaways and turn them into touchdowns, Bama defense, from start to finish. In this matchup here against LSU, Mythical Pickett, play hard, win easy. Play hard, win this football game. Gary T18 writes in, the storm staying south in the Gulf, no problems with the weather. Okay, so Gary T18 writes in, the storm is staying in the south, in the Gulf. There will be no weather issues. Well, praise Jesus. We're going to have a football game then. We are going to have a football game. Let's see. Christian Hughes writes in, question for Stephen M. Do you see Coach Womack letting those Carver boys loose on these Tigers? Yes, I do. Quay Russo said it. He ain't on a pitch count. He's healthy. He's ready to go. We've seen big steps taken by James Smith. I see both Carver boys being let loose on Garrett Nussmeier and the LSU offense. Yes, I see it. I 100% see it. Now, do we see a situation where they are both on the field at the same time? That is my hope and prayer. That is my hope and prayer. So, there you go. There we go. So, here we go. We got Jarvis S. writes in with the lank. So, hey, he's got the lank, and this is the ultimate lank game. GT. Here we go. You had it right, Steven. Formerly GT18. I'm still rolling with the Tide. So this is GT18. It's just Gary T18. Okay, so it's still GT18. I got you. Still rolling with the Tide there. So GT18. Hey, we got you, my man. We got you right here. Well, folks, we're going to be getting ready here to wrap this thing on up. I appreciate all of you guys being a part of tonight's show, making this your show, your network, your platform, your channel to talk all things Bama football, for the donations tonight, for energy, for you being a part of the conversation. Christian Hughes, lank back at you. Giving that lank back at Jarvis right there. But continue to put in your thoughts on how do you feel like this score is going to go between Alabama and LSU? How do you feel like this score is going to go? Let's see here. Mythical Pickett writes in, roll call, what city you chatting from? What city is everybody chatting from right now? Well, I am from this home location right here in Lincoln, Alabama. So this is where I am doing the show. But have that roll call. What city is everybody chatting from right now? Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh man, J-Man writes in, y'all getting rolled on this weekend. 34-31 LSU. Oh, we got an LSU fan in here. He's got the Tigers 34-31. Interesting. It's going to be a big game. And this is from J-Man out of Baton Rouge. So J-Man, by the way, of Baton Rouge, he's got the Tigers 34-31. GT18's chatting from Pensacola. Mythical Pickett from Lake Tahoe. We got Jarvis S. from Fort Worth, Texas, by the way of Mobile, Alabama. We got Roll Tide and Rise Up out of Atlanta, by the way of Tuscaloosa. Christian Hughes, he's coming out of Tattletale, Tuscaloosa. Here we go. GT18 says he was born and raised in Alabama. We got Coach Hood. There has to be more options offensively. Kendrick Law needs more touches. Incorporate him into the offense. You got to, Coach Hood. You got to incorporate Kendrick Law. You got to incorporate Kobe Prentice. You got to incorporate Caleb Odom. For goodness sake, you got to incorporate Emmanuel Henderson. Get E-Man the ball more. The guy is averaging, 20.8 yards a catch? Come on. Got to get E-Man the ball more. Mike Coleman writes in, Steven, awesome show, man. Appreciate what you do for us. You're the man. Roll Tide from Prattville. So Mike Coleman chatting from Prattville, Alabama. We got from the 5151 Planet Mars West Side. We know you Skyline from. We know you Skyline, man. Zachary Moss, he is chatting from Houston, Texas, by the way of Mississippi. T-Sav, free Kendrick Law. Yep, free him. Free Kendrick Law. The Godfather, my man Waylon, Ivory Coast, via Lower Alabama. Appreciate Waylon. And see your T-Sav writes in, Steven, why can't I play with Kendrick Law on NCAA? T-Sav, I don't know. I mean, Kendrick Law is kind of a cheat code on NCAA, though. Like, he really is kind of a cheat code there. As a matter of fact, the whole Bama team was a cheat code on NCAA. So I don't know why. I don't know why. Doing Miller writes in, Steven, on the real, how do you feel about Alabama winning this game? I think Alabama, can win this football game. I think Alabama can win this football game, and I really do. I really do. I think DeBoer has the national audience exactly where he wants it. Most of the national pundits have been talking about DeBoer can't handle this stage. DeBoer can't handle this moment. Here is his shot right here. And I think he's going to be able to handle it. I think he's going to handle it well. Mythical Pickett writes in, free Kendrick Law. Dude is from Louisiana. Dude has been waiting for a breakout game all season. Here it is. Coach Hood chatting from Lakeland, Tennessee. By the way of Tuscaloosa, he was born and raised in T-Town. There you go. GT18. K-Law is that dude. He would love me as OC. Because GT, you would get Kendrick Law the ball every single time. Tolbert saying OG, Gumptown homie. Gumptown homie. I don't care what the score is. Oh, it's the Tide is on top. Roll Tide. There you go. Right there. Jarvis S writes in, if there was ever a time for DeBoer to get a statement win, this is it. True. If there was ever a time for Coach DeBoer to get a statement win on the road, this is it. To show everybody he can handle this stage of college football in the Southeastern Conference. This is it right here. But appreciate every last one of you guys being a part here of the show. We'll take this from Randy. What is one thing you haven't really seen from Alabama this season that you would like to see them do in this game? Randy, that's easy. Score a defensive touchdown. Haven't seen it all season. I would like to see a defensive touchdown in this game, And I would like to see a punt return touchdown in this game. Defensive touchdown in this game and a punt return touchdown in this game, Randy. I would like to see both from Alabama. This absolutely Coach Hood. This is a coaching staff game. Alabama staff versus LSU staff. The team that is the best coached, put their players to be in the position to be successful, win. This is going to be a coaching staff football game, Coach Hood. You are 100% on it. But, T-Staff has a pick six for Malachi. So T-Staff has Malachi Moore getting a pick six here. But as always, Bama fans, you want the best in news, notes, information coverage, entertainment on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio, Google Play. We got you covered right there. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll be back on Friday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. Remember, Bama fans, you get that subscription. If you haven't done so, subscribe to touchdownalabama.com. You get all Bama at the palm of your hands. Be the insider you desire to be by subscribing to touchdownalabama.com. You do that today. Want to appreciate all of you guys for being a part of the show, for the donations, for chatting in the YouTube chat line, for making this your spot here for all things Bama football. Till next time, folks. Husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, you continue to do the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, to not be bored there. You get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.